All right, everybody, thanks for joining. Hopefully you're in the right spot, CX in Motion panel today. I'm Joe Mock, Director of Engineering for C3. I am a contact center engineer also, so after this or anytime, if you want to grab me, if you have any questions, thoughts, comments, please come find me. Look forward to talking to you. I'm going to do a quick introduction, and then I'm going to hand it off to the moderator, Andrew Pryfogel. Thank you. And I don't even have to look at the sheet. I got to look at the sheet for everybody else with your titles. See, now I'm on camera. That's why. All right, I'm going to make it quick. Katie Quinlan, 5'9". Patty McCormick from Glia. Michael Brandenburg from Ring Central. And Shayna Hafterson from Zoom. And again, Andrew Pryfogel will be doing the moderation. So thank you.
All right, thanks, Joe. Appreciate that. You guys can hear me okay? Good. Well, hey, guys, we've been chatting a bit over the past few weeks about this, and I'm excited to have this conversation. We're in a pretty much kind of a crazy time right now around AI. AI is everywhere. AI is arguably changing everything. You all four represent what I would consider to be kind of platform companies, right? You all have really deep capabilities across the world of customer experience. And AI is impacting a bunch of different places in your business, and you're trying to figure out kind of how to wrap your strategy around that and developing a lot of capabilities, really advanced capabilities on your own. When we talk about CX in Motion, we talk about integrations and we talk about alignment. How do you kind of put all these things together in a platform, right? Let's just first kick this off with maybe just a quick update from each of you on, and let's keep our answers brisk here because we're going to cover a lot today. I want to understand from your perspective, we'll start with you, how is AI changing, in your case, Five9's approach to the world of contact centers and kind of the adjacencies around that? It's changing a lot, I know, and I want you to talk about it a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I love this question. So really, we see a huge opportunity for all of you in the room and the companies and organizations that you work for to really take the power of AI and harness that around voice of the customer. So how you can leverage AI and the insights that you stand to gain and what was previously dark data and surface that with voice of the customer and a lot of tools that surround that. So I think you'll see from Five9 in the near future a lot of investment around VOC and our platform capabilities that align to ultimately unpacking those insights.
Got it. AI is amazing at that, of pulling actionable data out of those and actual insights out of that data. That's powerful. Let's talk about Glia for a second.
Yeah.
You guys have a platform that's focused kind of. You've gotten really targeted in the financial services space. Talk about it.
Yeah, so we do AI contact center for banks and credit unions. That's our primary focus. And when we think about AI, there's really two components. There's one, how are you automating, right? These really basic people calling in, hi, I need my password reset, I need my balance, right? That's all stuff we can use AI to automate and reduce that volume. And then the second part of the strategy is how are you thinking about AI elevating your human agents, right? How are you automating wrap-up calls? Those really tedious, boring parts of the job. So using AI to help with that and just make people more interested, have more fulfilling jobs, learning more, and working in more high-value areas.
Yeah, got it. So talk to us about Ring. Ring's been a leader in this space for a long time, a few decades now, and one of the earliest pioneers in hosted voice over IP. You guys have made some big investments in the contact center as well, and absolutely as a platform play. AI is now being infused in a bunch of different areas of your business. Talk about it for a moment.
Yeah, and it's 25 years as the original, the OG UCaaS player, provider. Yeah, and I think it's been an evolution from kind of that single product into covering kind of that full communication space. With our roots in voice, the fact that voice is becoming intelligent and driving these conversations, becoming, I spent many years hearing voice is dead, and let's talk about omnichannel and all of this, but AI is really driving to have that conversation that most people are most comfortable with. So it's really a good time for us to be building up that product. Because when we brought our Ring CX product in, it was right at the time of becoming AI powered right from the get-go.
Yeah, got it. You can kind of envision that out of the gate. Shanna, you're with Zoom, and I think we joke about it a lot. Shanna owns the Zoom CX practice for all of North America, and so Zoom is more than just a meetings company, right? I told you I was going to tell you this, but I'm giving you a chance here because I want you to be able to differentiate. You guys are having a lot of success right now in the contact center, and the platform that you've built around this. You guys made a strategic decision just a few years ago to not go out and acquire a whole bunch of piece parts, but to develop so much of it in-house. Why was that so important, and how has that dovetailed into what we're seeing around AI today?
Yeah, so I think a couple things. So, you mentioned us starting, 15 years ago. Zoom overnight became the meeting platform of the world. It took the entire world to meetings over the pandemic, right? We went from 30 million daily active users to over 300 million daily active users. And so let's fast forward to what you said 3 years ago. And so we decided to enter the customer experience realm and what we like to call the third wave of this AI revolution, right? And so if you think about total experience, we already had the employee experience, our platform side of our platform. And then we decided to make our customer experience self-service and AI. And so AI has always been built into our platform. Our AI companion is in our entire platform at no additional cost. And then we talk about launching our CX suite. We also have native workforce management, quality management, advanced quality management. And then we also just launched Zoom Virtual Agent, which is our voice and chat agentic self-service. And so we talk about the connected experience of that customer journey and being able to leverage CX insights and make every customer interaction actionable. And so I can talk, not now, but with anybody that like to talk about any more use cases of how our customers are leveraging or how they're making that expansion from our workplace to our customer experience suite, or maybe entering in through our customer experience suite. I'm happy to have a further conversation, or maybe we can get into it now, but I know we only have 30 minutes.
Got it. No, that's good. That's a good kickoff, guys. I appreciate that. So I want to talk a little bit about integrations. The power of your platforms, frankly, are limited if they're not tightly integrated into the back office systems that companies depend so heavily on, right? Whether it be a CRM or an ERP or a financial services platform. You guys are very focused on the financial services vertical.
Correct.
And that has required you guys to get really smart about some very specific kind of niche platforms that credit unions and banks live on every single day. Talk about that for a moment.
Yeah, so that's what we call the core. So that's the single source of truth for all your banking data. So that's the main thing that we have to integrate with. But when we think about integrations as a whole, for the agents, a lot of times they may have 15, 20 different systems that they have to log in to do their job. That's a lot. Yeah. Right, so part of the people side of things when we're thinking about the agents is saying, hey, what is that single pane of glass? So they just have all the information. You've got maybe your Zendesk ticket or your Salesforce information, your banking information on the core. Have you authenticated with biometrics, with your voice, my voice is my password stuff. So when we think about the integrations, it is what is that single pane of glass and bring it all together so it really speeds up that agent time and makes them more effective. Yes. So that's how we're holistically thinking about the integration. So there's the specific core and other components, but that's kind of the vision. When we're thinking about it.
Got it. Every kind of key financial services platform out there, the leading ones, right? You guys have invested the time to become really specialized in how to deploy on that.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it. Perfect. Shanna, back to you really quick on the integration side. You guys have done a lot of work in that area. There's you have a lot of in-house capabilities, but you also have invested a lot in making your platform work seamlessly with a bunch of other external systems. Salesforce being one of them as an example. Talk about it.
So we recently launched our connector into Service Cloud Voice. So not only can we do a CTI integration, we can also have a connector directly into Service Cloud Voice. We are also just invited to attend Dreamforce, where Zoom actually had a booth, and we were able to talk about just thought leadership and how we're partnering together We also were at Oracle AI World because we're a key partner. We actually just announced that that they are leveraging Zoom Contact Center with their 15,000 global agents. And so now we're a strategic partner there. We have a strategic partnership with AWS. We also have moderate FedRAMP authorization, our essential Zoom Contact Center license, also FedRAMP on our UC side. We're working on a native Epic integration, but we do leverage other integrations with like SpinSci, also Navibox from just the FinServe as well with Jack Henry. So I mean, there's a lot. I mean, this is not new. I mean, we all kind of, it's just a little bit different. Like everyone does it a little bit differently, but it's really talking about what are your needs and how do we solve those needs together and what's the top like priority and what industry are we talking about?
Because if the integrations aren't there, this whole thing starts to fall apart, right? I mean, you have it has to flat out work. There was a study, we talked about this in a panel this morning. Who was here this morning for this other one we had? Ah, shit, I can't even use my same jokes. All right, that's okay. All new material. Here we go. No, all kidding aside, we talked this morning as well about the MIT study that came out a few months ago, suggested that 95% of AI POCs are failing. And when we peeled back some reasons around that. One of the big reasons is around this integrations question, Michael, right? How do companies that are trying to build some of this capability on their own, if they haven't figured out these tight integrations with all these different systems, oftentimes it never gets out of the starting gates, right? Talk about that for a second.
Yeah, I mean, to build on what Zurich has said, we're sitting on 500 one-click, out-of-the-box integrations. We have the APIs to support, countless more. But I think, there is probably a parallel to kind of those AI POCs failing and CX, because if you're not kind of leading with changing the process. I mean, let's step back a second. All these legacy contact centers and PBXs that are out there didn't connect to anything.
Right.
So, switching to a cloud system and just not doing those integrations doesn't, if you're doing the same, you're not changing the process. You're not improving that experience. You're not giving, at a
You're
base
missing
level,
an opportunity to do some radical.
You're not giving the agent the screen pop that tells you there. So, if anybody's out here going, well, we want to move to CX just to go to cloud, you're missing just ignore that one.
Right.
They're, swapping tech stacks doesn't change anything. The value comes in when you connect to your vertical specific applications. And, we have Salesforce, we have Epic.
Of course.
But, we're also kind of, there's a lot more than that 500. And focusing on auto dealers or retail and bringing that customer experience to where the agents are actually living.
Yeah, got it. Katie, on the integration question for Five9, I've had lots of meetings with you guys in San Ramon and on whiteboards and talking through what you guys are building and delivering on. What is your take on this? There's a lot of consolidation that's been happening. One of your biggest competitors was here this morning with NICE, who made a big bet on Cognigy. We expect to see more similar things happen in the next, in the coming months. I think that's a reality of it. But as you guys look opportunistically at other innovative solutions that are out there, building your own solutions, tons of R&D across the board with all of you guys. Talk about how you guys make that decision, and specifically, how are you guys prioritizing these integrations that we're talking about? Because so many of them are vertical specific.
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot to unpack there. But when I think about where do we decide where we invest in R&D or in any acquisition, that's really around like where do we think that the big bet around customer value is, and that's value to your enterprises, and that's value back to your own end customers or your patients. And so we like to think about like what is the most meaningful thing that our customers can go do and deliver both internally and externally that's going to deliver impact for them. And that drives a lot of why we do what we do at Five9. Back to like how do you think about like that platform play and how AI comes into play there. We see that platform story of, your data as a customer, what can you do with what you have? And so that's a great place to start. But then how can you take a platform investment that you're making and drive AI on the outset for self-service and then all the way to the very end with voice of customer and what happened in that journey. And so
Yeah.
5.9 really wants to focus on prioritizing that entire experience and making the right investments and integrations along the way.
Yeah, yeah. I want to ask, please, go ahead, dive in.
Yeah, I was also going to just kind of add too, so the voice of the customer, Zoom's feature request or what we build is actually 50% by our customers in real time. We're making an entire new connected experience in this revolution and all the AI that we talk about, investing over $800 million a year in R&D on our CX self-service. And Zoom Virtual Agent Next Gen, it launched June 11th.
Yeah.
And we're seeing a massive, massive uptick of our customers either doing concierge directly from our Zoom virtual agent into their phone application, or they're taking it from the virtual agent to the customer agent or to the agent to then to the employee experience side. And then we're also announced at Zoomtopia supervisor dashboards for our virtual agents. So now you can look in real time, the sentiment, what's happening, barge in, take over that just like you would as a real human or an expert. You can also now do it with the virtual agent as well.
It's really cool, and I know all of you guys are starting to reimagine how you treat virtual agents and kind of measure their outcomes, right? Just like you would a human agent. You were going to say something.
Yeah, when you start talking about integrations and ecosystems, it's I think it's important to have and as a buyer look at and see what exists there. We make clear decisions on, there are application integrations that we consider strategic. Salesforce is a good example.
Sure.
Or Epic is a good example, that we'll take on ourselves. But we have a, rather large ISV program. We have 100,000 registered developers. That can be part of the developer community to, bring us all of those integrations.
Right.
So it's some of the parts. You could choose to build what we, want and need to, and we can work with partners to kind of fill the gaps.
Yeah, I want to pivot here for a second. So I've talked with you guys about this, but I want to get your reaction in front of all these fine people. So right now, most CCaaS platforms have been for a long time built around this idea of X number of users in the contact center. Maybe it's concurrent licenses or not. And in volume, you can get really aggressive pricing, and if you lock it in over 3, 4, 5 year term, you get even better pricing. And that's always been directionally how CCaaS companies have kind of priced out their products, right? Then this AI thing comes along, and it's interesting because while you're a company saying, hey, we want to sell more seats and lock it into longer term contracts. Oh, by the way, we also have this AI technology that's purpose-built to reduce the number of seats you need, right? And there's a bit of a reconciliation that has to happen there. And I know all of you guys are kind of tackling that right now, and you don't all have to answer, but I'm curious if any of you have some insight into that. Where do you see the pricing strategies go for contact centers with platforms as this evolves?
Yeah, I'm happy to kick us off on that. So we actually have had a lot of customer conversations where they're like, hey, you're selling me contact center seats, but you're also selling me AI agents. Like, where's the intersection of those technologies?
Yeah.
And so we actually recently restructured to move to a minimum committed spend. So we're looking at our overall contractual relationship around, we don't really care what the technology is. Like, let's be working together in partnership to an agreed upon negotiated dollar value. And that helps with that, what am I going to do with my agents if there's attrition and I, use AI agents for them to come in and take some of that low-hanging fruit workload. So I feel like we've addressed it, I think in a really meaningful way for our customers.
Got it. Good. Anybody else?
Yeah, we have a similar, we've shifted to what we call priceless pricing.
Okay.
We don't want to de-incentivize people
That makes a
from
lot of
using
sense.
it.
Priceless
right?
pricing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, we have unlimited agents, unlimited seats. We don't have tokens for AI. We have unlimited phone calls, unlimited numbers. Like, we want to incentivize the banks and credit unions to use the platform and get the efficiencies and see the ROI.
Yeah.
So I do see kind of the CCaaS moving in that direction.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're in a mix. I think we're having a lot of conversations about, what is the value and ROI. So it's not, a pure, like, okay, here's your CX seat and your AI add-on. It really depends on, AI quality management is doing something different, and has a different value proposition than an AI, a bot or
Yeah.
an AI agent would have.
Yeah.
So I think we're trying to, level, reset ourselves a little bit for finding the right value mix.
Yeah, yeah. And it's got to be a mix. I think there's going to be some unique and kind of creative solutions to this. Anything to add on your end?
We're still evolving that pricing strategy, but again, it's really talking about what are we solving and how do we work with our clients. And since we do have the full tech stack from end to end, but we also do work with other solutions, or we can take Zoom Virtual Agent and integrate it into a standalone CCaaS as well, right? So it's really in real time evolving, but we do have consumption, and also we've now worked on rollover and just looking at the contracting totality versus just like the monthly or annual. How do we allow that consumption of those rollovers every single month versus like you use it or you lose it? So the beauty is we can also look at a small test case on the virtual agent and then scale up instead of, let's just eat the whole elephant at once. Let's just take this one use case, prove it out. Maybe we're offloading frequently asked questions, but we're still going to maybe keep 75% of those license counts on the agents. Again, I think it's small business all the way up to enterprise. It's different. It's not one size fits all.
Yeah.
But let's find the right mix that works for each customer individually.
And I think the good news for customers here in the room and CX leaders and IT leaders and so forth, as I talk to you guys and a lot of your peers, there's a lot of energy going into this question right now of how do we kind of realign our pricing model.
We just had this conversation last week. I feel like
Yeah, exactly. So I know it's a very active one, and so that's a good thing for customers in the room. There is another dynamic around IT though, around AI, and which is maybe a bit counterintuitive. Who here has been asked by your leadership, we got to save money over the next 6-12 months. I want you to figure out how to cut costs out of the business. Yeah, everybody? Yeah. What a shocker. I often tell IT leaders, especially around this world influenced so much by AI, that if your goal is to drive cost out of the business, you need to prepare on spending way more in technology. That you don't get to cut technology spend, right, and have meaningful cost driven out of the business. They don't quite intersect that way. So it's an investment in technology in order to ultimately save the company a ton of money and be more profitable, more efficient, and so forth. You guys are seeing similar trends. All these new AI and automation capabilities. It is an investment, but there's a very strong ROI around it when it's built right. Am I correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And so that's something that we're really seeing a lot of our customers come to us and ask for our help putting together those business cases of, hey, we're spending X today. We know this pricing we got back from you is a lot more than we were spending. Help me help myself. And so really coming together and working on that ROI, it takes very few data points for us to get to that, derive what the actual value is going to look like. And so we really see a big need for helping justify, I know I need X, Y, and Z, and I know what it's going to do for my organization.
Right.
What do the financials actually shake out to look like? Yep.
A lot of this is about managing expectations as well, both as IT leaders up to the C-suite, right? When our CEO comes down and says, "Go get me some AI," right, and save us a bunch of money. Who here's been promised or has seen promises out there that I can automate 80% of your interactions? Right? Yeah. Hands up. Yeah. 80%. Well, God bless them. Here's the fascinating thing. Is you don't have to automate 80% of your interactions for this to be a massive needle mover for the business. We're even seeing very moderate numbers like a 10 or 15% increase in automation can translate into millions of dollars a year in savings. Am I right?
Yeah, just to circle back on your question before, so a use case came to mind when you said that. So Cricket went full Zoom Contact Center, virtual agent, and also our workplace application. I think they consolidated 7 or 8 different collaboration tools that they were utilizing before they went full Zoom platform. And they actually did not have a quality management team. So they were able to, with our Elite license, which includes advanced quality management and workforce management, and all the AI, again, there's a lot to unpack in there, but they will take their best agents and create a quality management team. So not only are they able to bring on their agents faster and use their best agents to train those agents. They're also able to quality manage. And then also with Zoom Virtual Agent and having all the interactions and the data, they're taking in real time what would take like 6 months to make product feature updates on their printers. They're actually doing it like in the same month now because they're able to bring that voice of the customer back to product right away because they're making every customer interaction actionable. So again, there's a lot of other ones. That was one that sparked to my mind when you said that. And then also the second on the ROI is just the consolidation. A lot of customers a lot of you guys use Zoom, right? Who uses Zoom today for meetings, right? Probably maybe didn't know we had customer experience for walking in, right? But so if you're looking at, maybe you have an upcoming project or something you want to look at on the CX side, let's have a conversation because you probably already have it in your IT department today. You're probably already managing our platform. It's the same platform, the same user interface. It's not a different application. It's all in one pane of glass. You probably already gone through our security assessment, right, jointly. And so we can tackle on your next project.
Comments on tech investment having to increase to accomplish what we're trying to accomplish?
Well, I mean, we were talking about this before. You know, any bit of work requires, you know, anything that happens in business requires people, tech, and processes. If you can, you know, so to your point about like where, you know, pure ROI, I think it's just one part of the equation. They actually just got published, a couple customer case studies, where we're saving, you know, kind of by leveraging, you know, the AI tools we have today, we're saving 1,000 man hours for one company. Another company has dropped their lost calls or drop calls down to 2%.
Yeah.
Just by putting, you know, an AI agent, AI receptionist on the front of their calls and handling a lot of those tasks. Yeah. So it's not just necessarily like the hard will you know, if you spend on technology, you can save on people or what have you. You can save time. You can save hours, minutes.
Yeah.
You know, in every given day.
And in really meaningful ways. There's the flip side of this coin as well, which is the make money part of this. How AI is enabling companies to grow revenues. In the credit union and banking space, it's all about getting higher conversion rates, as an example, right? And prospective clients coming in, being able to turn them into an actual banking customer. You guys are leveraging your tech to increase those types of ratios.
Yeah, it's all part of the ecosystem. So I know with banks and credit unions, I think generally the trade-off is less on like, hey, what's my ROI? It's, are you going to have a good experience for your contact center or your support, or are you going to save money, right? Because you can easily just outsource everything. Cool, you've saved a lot of money. Or you just don't have contact centers. Awesome, you save money. I think Zappos is the opposite of that. Or like I think it's Ritz Carlton. They'll give any of their employees $2,000 to solve a customer problem. Like great, you've got great, excellent service, but like your costs are out there. So that's usually the divide that we're looking at.
Right.
Is saying, hey, what's that efficiency versus the experience you're providing in your contact centers?
Yeah.
Put an eye onto this. You can automate, say, 60% of your call volume. Great, now you have all this extra time to improve the experience.
Yeah.
You can do outsourcing, you can call people, do the loan conversions, cross-sell. So it all becomes this kind of ecosystem that we're working towards solving.
Yeah. We're out of time, and I want to close just with this one thing. We'll get a really quick rapid fire. We've all seen this sign, perhaps in a barbershop, that says you can have a good, fast, or cheap, pick two. Have you seen that? Right, you don't get all three, which suggests that there's always trade-offs, right? There's always trade-offs. In the world of AI, is it possible that we're nearing that stage where it's good and fast and cheap, meaning it can do all three, and oftentimes AI designed right can almost reach that point and maybe even exceed it in the near future of providing a better experience than a human? Bold statement. Do you agree with that? How far off are we from perhaps that reality? Shannon, we'll go with you first. Go ahead.
I mean, if you guys were in the opening session, I mean, five years from now, a lot of us don't know what our jobs will look like. So, I mean, to predict the percentage of virtual agents to human agents, I mean, I think it's a great theory to say, yes, 100% AI agents. I think what Salesforce had announced that, right, with that they had actually they didn't let go of their 4,000. They actually put them elsewhere, but here nor there. I think it's a blend. I think we're still on the journey of AI or virtual agents versus human.
Yep.
Is the question like,
I
are
would
they
agree.
all
No, I would
three?
agree.
Like, I guess,
I think you're. I think that's fine. I think it is. So your argument is it's going to still be a blend. I would agree with that. By the way,
Absolutely.
I would agree with that. By the way,
Industry matters too.
Yep.
If you're
no doubt.
if you're
No doubt.
talking about
Yep.
healthcare or bereavement or insurance or some other thing like
Right.
or your identity being stolen, I mean, my sister went through that, and I can tell you she did not want to talk to a bot
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
a virtual agent.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
got it. Got it. Any
it
other
depends.
comments on that, guys? Yeah.
I feel like
go
we're
ahead.
gonna look back at this video recording of this session in 5 years and laugh about
Yeah.
like the conversation we were having, like even speculating that
Yeah.
would be the case.
Be
But
here
yeah,
anymore.
I think on the theme of good, fast, and cheap, I think if you go out and read, I mean, a lot of investors in the space have concerns about like that fast isn't there yet.
Yeah.
And so, we had an earnings call last week where this came up, and there's a lot of questions from the investor community around like what is this? Like really trying to unpack it. And I think you look at overall adoption, I mean, there's been a lot of news about Agent Force lately and what
Yep.
the actual adoption of that really looks like. And so we're definitely not there on
Yep.
the fast part of it. I think that will
Okay.
continue to get better. But yeah, we have a lot of work to do in terms of adoption and
Yeah.
getting a good design
Yeah.
done
yeah.
with AI.
Yeah. No doubt, Michael.
The only thing I'll add to
please,
that
go
is,
ahead,
Yeah.
I like to say AI is at the worst today that it will ever be. This is the
good.
worst. This is terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's only going to
Yeah.
get better. So
Yeah.
yeah, who
That's really
knows?
good.
And,
That's
yeah.
write that one down, guys. That's a pearl. I agree with you. Yeah. Go ahead.
You stole it. I was just saying, we're actually getting, I think we'll see it getting faster, cheaper and gooder.
Yeah. Good.
Over time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed.
Will we ever get all three? I mean, eventually everything becomes commodity.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think you will get the cheaper. It will get gooder. I don't know if we'll get replacement. 100%
Right,
replacement
right.
gooder.
It's interesting.
But
It'll be interesting to watch. I agree. Let's watch the video in 5 years and come back and see how right or wrong we were.
Same
right?
time, same place.
Same time,
There
same
we go.
place. All right, fantastic. Great conversation, guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Good job.